Okay, okay, okay. Let's get straight into it. What in the fuck is up with Tevin Farmer? This is the Double RT Boxing Show. I am your host, Mr.A. As you can see, we are still on the road, on the go. Now, Jojo Diaz deservingly put in a performance that beat Tevin Farmer. This is the Jojo Diaz I thought was going to fight the whole fight against Gary Russell. That's why I picked Gary Russell to lose that fight. But somewhere along the lines, Jojo Diaz just stopped being as aggressive. In this fight, he learned from his mistakes. Totally aggressive, all 12 rounds. But the main concern I gotta say is Sergio kept nodding at it as why is he blinking like crazy? Tevin Farmer just blinking, blinking, blinking. Something's wrong with his eyes. And he kept saying he's looking at the clock. I don't think he was looking at that. First, I thought he was looking at the clock. But if you notice, like Tevin Farmer had a weird, like it was almost a weird ass tick, like Leo Santa Cruz shakes his hand like that. Tevin Farmer would blink his eyes and then do a head shake, then do a head shake, do a head shake, do a head shake. Blink his eyes, head shake, blink his eyes, head shake, and he's doing that this whole fight. And I didn't. He did the head tilt a little bit in his corner at the end of round one. But you start seeing like in round three and round four, he's doing this a lot, a lot. His blinking's getting worse. His head's snapping back. It's a like, is this a twitch? Because I never noticed it in his previous fights. Now, in this fight, they were close. They were clinching a lot. Jojo Diaz was hitting him in the body with his free hand, hitting him in the temple with his free hand, hitting him towards the back of his head with his free hand. And just when they weren't clinching, Jojo Diaz was landing a lot of headshots that I'm not seeing Farmer used to getting hit with. So maybe, hopefully, nothing was rattled in his brain. But it just, when Farmer was leaning, he'll fall back against the ropes, looked a little bit. He just didn't look his light of foot defensive slickness that we're used to seeing. Spinning off to the side, getting away from punches. We didn't see any of that from Tevin Farmer. Now, give Jojo Diaz credit. He was beating the shit out of his body and landing some headshots. Like I said, when they were tying up, he was punching with his arm free. Whenever every opportunity he had, he put a fist on Tevin Farmer's body somewhere. Liver shot, kidney shot, head shot, back shot. He was just hitting Tevin Farmer, and I had Tevin Farmer losing this fight pretty bad. I think I only gave him like two, maybe 3 rounds. Um, it was, like I said, the main thing that's concerned is just what the hell was wrong with Tevin Farmer's head. Like, what was all that blinking and that tick with his head? Now, at the end of the thing, I could have sworn I heard Chris Max or one of the other commentaries said Lou DiBella was worried with all that blinking and head shit that he's taking him to the hospital immediately. Now, I don't know if there was a post-fight conference. Did Tevin Farmer attend it, or did he just go to the hospital immediately? Because it was a little alarming for sure, especially, like I said, it seemed, like I said, it always seemed Tevin Farmer looks weird because he's cross-sighted, but he started blinking rapidly, and then when he started doing that head twitch and tick, that shit started getting it was alarming. It was a little alarming, a little off-putting. Um, like I said, hopefully it wasn't caused with all the headshots he was taking. Nasty gash by Jojo Diaz. Great job by the cut man in the corner. Oh man, I don't know how that fight went on without the doc stopping that, because that was a nasty ass gash on Jojo Diaz's eye. You could fucking fit like a fat jumbo Crayola crayon in that shit. That shit was just the size of my pinky, man. I could like put my whole pinky in that fucking cut. It was a deep gash, and when it was spewing blood, it turned his whole fucking eye like Halloween makeup red. So good job with the adrenaline and the Vaseline, and it sucked because at the end when did they check? I think they checked at the end of round 2 or 3. The corner, put all this adrenaline, put the Vaseline, protected the cut. And here comes the doctor, wipes all that shit off, and checks the cut. Like, okay, go fight. And I'm like, oh, okay, doc, like you cleared me to fight, but you just took all my protection off my eye. Thanks. So, as far as a rematch, this falls under the same thing as J Rock and Rosario. Will there be a rematch? Like I said, stay tuned to the Double RT Boxing Show, because if you're interested in the J Rock and Rosario rematch, that may not be the next fight. Stay tuned to the Double RT Boxing Show and you'll find out why. And it's the same thing why um, Tevin Farmer and Jojo Diaz might not be an immediately rematch. So if you are interested in that information, stay tuned to the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Jojo Diaz defeats Tevin Farmer. Thank you for your time and support.